Okay, so hey guys, I'm going to be doing a gameplay commentary on Nidalee today. Um, what I'm going to actually do with my videos from now on is what I was doing is I was playing and then recording at the same time and, hoping that I guess you get a good run and be able to show you guys because I don't want to show you, bad games where it's no real good plays made or anything like that. I want to show you, the best of the best. I decided to show you this one. I just played this one. But yeah, what I'm going to do is, instead of, as I said, recording it and then, recording is playing it, I'm going to actually record the game, but I'm actually going to then come back, look at the game, watch the game again with you guys, and actually speak to you about the game. That way, you guys, I can tell you things, I can explain why I did things instead of having to, not be able to do that while I'm playing because I'm still concentrating. So I had a pretty good game, this game. It's my second time. I actually laned against Karma. It's my second time laning against Karma since her rework. And I find she's actually a pretty good laner now. She's got a lot of damage sustain. It's not a lot. I know there was the base damage buff that increase that she got, but she actually does quite a bit. She's not the strongest AP carry there is, and I know she's still supposed to be that support type champ, but I find she can actually be played as an AP carry now. But she's not up there with great AP carries like Lux or anyone else like Vega or anything like that. On a scale of say 1 to 10, I'd put her on like a 6, 7, where there's a lot better picks out there like Diana as well. Anyway, so I'm going to try and run you through the game. Now, I did a commentary not long ago on the Sanja, and a lot of you were saying, oh, like you don't know how to farm that well, blah, blah, blah. You need to practice on your last hitting. It's different when you're playing a champ who you play for the first time. Nidalee is someone who I've actually played for quite a while. I played a game with her just the other day, and by 15 minutes I was already on like 110 CS. Now, I know I'm not saying I'm the best CSer or like, that is a good set amount to have because everyone's CS is different and everyone's not as good as each other. But if you're an average to moderate type player, you want to be sitting around 100 to 120 CS at around 15 minutes in. That's a good start. I ended up with 300 CS at the end of the game, and it was something like a 40-minute game. That's a pretty good farm, especially for Nidalee. What I tend to do is, while I'm pushing the lane, if I've pushed their lane back, I'll throw a spear into the race. And I know I won't be aiming for the big one, I'll be aiming for one of the small ones. And normally I'll do it at the enemy camp, because to do it at your camp is a bit, it can screw over your jungler by, having to wait for the camp to respawn or whatever. But once I've pushed the lane, I'll throw that spear, then I'll drop back. I will show you about it later on, because I do it in this game a few times. Rammus has tried to gank here. He burned a flash. Sometimes when you get a gank, everyone is expecting, to get a kill. Sometimes when you gank, you just want to push the lane back, or you want to give yourself a bit of room, or you even want to burn a flash. If he can't get a successful gank off, burning a flash is the next best thing you want to do. Because that way, if you do then jump in for an attack, especially with a burst damage champion, they're not gonna have that flash. Like, he's come back now, he's done the taunt. I was a bit delayed on going in for it, but I knew we couldn't secure that kill because we just weren't doing enough damage at that level. And Rammus being more of a knock you up type of gank, not someone who's going to come in, do a lot of damage in a few hits, and then basically he's useless after that. He's more like a laid back jungler. Obviously, Rammus not having a lot of damage. His main abilities with the ganks is just stunning or forcing the enemy, giving the laner enough time to then do their damage. At this level, it's not going to do much. Now, see, as Karma's pushed my lane, I want to auto attack. I want to throw as many AAs out as I can, because I don't want this wave coming to the tower. Because I know once it hits the tower's going to take it no matter what. So I'll last hit when the lane's in the middle or something, or I'll last hit when it's pushed up. But when it's near my end, I want to push it back. I don't want it doing any damage to my tower. I don't want her being in a position where she could strike me and I have to still focus on farming. Rammus gets jumped here. I remember I was aiming for Karma with the spears. I thought Rammus was going to die, but I got a quick heal off. Then I changed focus to Lee. There's no point in chasing Karma in that situation, because I would have chased her and I would have got stuck up around here. And that wouldn't have been good. So then Lee could have easily turned back and finished me off. So I changed the focus to Lee there. So yeah, once again, the wave has been pushed under the tower, as you can see, and it's making it more difficult to farm. That's why I don't want that's why I want to chuck out as many AAs as I can to push that lane back. Because it gives me a better opportunity to then farm that wave without having the creeps take any damage. But yeah, this game, I'm pretty sure I did fairly well, in my opinion. It wasn't a difficult game. Sorry, it wasn't the most difficult game I've ever played. Every game's difficult in its different aspects. This was like a, I'd give it like an average game. It ran pretty smoothly. For me anyway, it did. No one got too fed, no one got too ahead at a certain stage. Everyone was kind of played out and doing pretty well. Like bottom lane at the moment has their Siva has 3 kills, 1 death. Our Blitz and Ashley have 4 kills and 3 deaths. So even though the support has 2 kills, it's still good because we have more kills in that lane than they do. It would have been obviously preferred if Ashley had the kills than Blitz, but if we're up ahead in the kill, doesn't matter who it goes to. Gold still works on the support well, so of course you need gold for everything. It just means he can now maybe rush a Legion first, or rush whatever he's going to make first, like a Sightstone. So it works out either way. Another thing about that is, even though I'm not in the bottom lane at the moment, if you are in the bottom lane and you're 2v2ing it out, and the carry or your carry dies, and then it's just the support left, and say they have their support left as well, and that support is on maybe a quarter health and you're on full health, you want to take the kill. You don't want to be hesitant, especially as well if, like, for instance, you and the carry are chasing but you're ahead, and you have an opportunity to take the kill. And for instance, like if the guy you're chasing is Ezreal and he can dash out, you want to take that kill before he escapes. Even though it's better to, maybe play the risk. There's that chance of playing the risk and then your carry get the kill. You want to make sure you get the kill. You don't want that player to escape no matter what. Even if you are the support, you're not supposed to take it. You want to get it. And yeah, so don't be hesitant about taking a kill if you think that it might escape. And if you're, even if you're playing with a teammate in the bottom lane and your support, and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to take it because I don't want him to get angry at me or anything like that. Good players make their own decisions. So when you see a champ and you think he might have a possibility of escaping, you want to take it. You don't want to just try and save it for someone else and then let it get away. A good player will make a smart decision, and he'll decide whether he can or can't, take the kill, and he'll take it if he needs to. And that's why supports are so important in the game, especially good supports as well. There's no point in having a mediocre support or someone who doesn't know how to support, and then getting to the late game stages and having the wrong items, having all sorts of things, especially when supports think that they need to buy like Chalice on themselves and that to spam spells. That's not what you do as a support. You really want to get auras and things like that, and gold, Philostone, to help you rush all those aura items. I backed off a little bit here. I didn't have vision on Lee, but I didn't want to move too far up in the lane. He does go for a gank, but he does fail. And with Nidalee, the first item I will always rush is the Chalice, because even though my spears aren't doing that much damage, I know I'm going to need mana, and I don't want to have to keep being and losing farm. So I can heal and I can spam spears until I really need to be. And in this situation, I don't actually need to be too often, because I can just, I've got lane sustain, I can just heal, and I've got damage sustain as well. I can just poke, and I constantly poke. And even though I might miss at this stage because I'm not quick enough or not accurate enough, at least she knows I'm still going to be throwing out spears. Rammus now taunts under the tower. He gets unlucky, he takes a few hits, but nothing too serious. There's that Karma's ability you just saw where she bursts that damage. That's what I'm talking about. That's that little bit of damage she has on her that she can sustain those sort of things. When I was talking about earlier about Karma's having her rework, she's a medium AP carry at that. She has damage. It's not like she doesn't have damage. She does have damage. It's just not enough to really burst down champions as quick as others can. I mean, if you're going to play Karma or have a Karma in your team, you're really going to want that Karma to play the support role. Even though she could be a great AP carry mid, late game Karma doesn't really pick up well as an AP carry. You really want someone, a high AP caster, damage dealer on your team, who's going to strive a lot more better from all the farms she's gathered during the early stages. I managed to get Lee there. He accidentally walks on a trap, and I don't think he sees it or whatnot, but I actually managed to pick him up there, and it works out pretty well. So we're now 11 minutes in, and I'm sitting on 79 CS. So that's pretty good. If I chose to have stayed in the lane or gone and taken their Wraiths or the blue or the whatever, or the wolves, I could have hit 100 easily by 14 minutes. That's a good farm to be sitting on. Now, it's different like when you're getting pushed in your lane and zoned hard, like for instance counters to Nidalee that I find are very difficult to play against are Kassadin. Cat is difficult, but not too difficult if you know how to handle it. I've played against a lot of Cats. Cat's like a 7 to 8 out of 10 to lane against. No, actually not an 8, a 7. She's definitely a 7. But sometimes all it takes is a 7 to beat you in the lane. You just got to be having a bad day or not a great game, and you're actually not going to do very well. And then she's going to snowball. Once Cat gets ahead, they snowball. I actually played a game before this as well, with an Nidalee. And that actually managed to snowball me quite well. Even though the champion herself, does need nerfs at the moment, she's quite a strong champion. She's hard to lane against. The silence, the easy escape, and when you're laning against a champion who's a better laner than you or who's doing a lot better than you, you want to call on your jungler as much as possible until you can even the lane out. Don't wait around for him to come to you. Keep signaling him, because in that Akali game, I was signaling my jungler over and over again, and he wasn't coming. He wanted to focus more on other lanes. But once one lane who's already ahead of you and playing well gets a few kills in, they're actually going to snowball your lane. And then the jungler's going to eventually come around to your lane, and when they do get to your lane, they're going to have a bad time ganking, because they're not going to expect that champ to get that strong that quick, because they're not in the lane. They don't know how much power that champion has actually picked up. They find that out from the gank themselves. I mean, sure, they know that they've got kills, but they don't actually, they underestimate the damage they can actually do. And that's what happened. A Volibear, our jungler in the last Akali game, came around, he went for a gank, and he ended up, regretting it, giving the Akali a double kill, actually, from bad placement and as well as just being really fed. And that Akali then went up to 4-0. But as far as this goes, you can't see it now, but I'm always I'm always tabbing to check the farm. And I know I'm out farming Karma at the moment. She's not doing bad, but if I'm already this far ahead, this early on, late game, I know I'm gonna have a lot more farm with her. So yeah, but I don't need to rely on my jungler at the moment because I'm doing quite well in the lane, I'm happy to just keep it this way as well. You don't need to push the tower too. You don't need to. If you're doing really well in lane, you want to keep that phase as long as possible. You don't want to start roaming. You don't want to take a tower and then go help other lanes. With Nidalee, you can go to other lanes when that champion disappears for a little bit. It takes roughly around 10 seconds to get to bottom lane, and then another 5 or 6 to get back. So altogether, I mean, it takes only like 15 18 seconds. That's the whole B and back. So you can go to bottom, help with the help with the gank. Normally go to a lane where the jungler's already in. So if the jungler's going to top, then you want to go to top. Go there, try and get a gank or a free kill, and then come back. And then by the time you're back, take a bit more farm, and because you're already dominating the lane, you don't need to worry about B. You don't need to recall because you already have a great phase. That's why you don't want to push that tower, because you can maneuver around and keep. I don't expect all players to play as well or to think like this or to have this sort of logic, because everyone's different. But these are the things you need to think about when you play a lane, not just Nidalee, but all lanes. That you want to constantly think of opportunities of how you can help. Like I've worked my way top at the moment because the jungler's here, because I know that Rammus can't hold against Kayle, so I'll help out. Kayle has his ult, so it's difficult to go and get a free kill on him, because he can just go under the turret. I actually told Rammus not to go under here. Well, I was thinking to myself, Rammus, don't go under this tower, but he actually ends up getting a kill, so that's good. He there, I could have followed it up if I was chasing with him next to each other, and he took the kill then, because I might not have been able to get it because I was a different champ or I was too slow. I would have been happy with that. I wouldn't have bothered, complained or anything and said, why don't you give it to me, or KS or anything like that. It's not a KS if they're securing the kill. It actually stands for kill secure. And people just use the term when someone manages to get a last hit or take the last hit really cheaply against a teammate, but it actually stands for kill secure, and anyone can can do a KS, and it's strange that everyone complains about it because I don't know why they do. I mean, it balances out other teammates. I mean, if you've got one player who's already 8 for 1, that player's going to snowball no matter how many more kills he's gotten until he gets shut down. But if you have like someone who's like 1 for 2 and then they take that kill and they get that kill, it actually works better for their advantage, because now you have 2 players. You have one who's already fairly fed, and now you have a second who's starting to make their way into that snowball category. So that's why it's good if other champs get them. I've seen supports like Sona and Leona, definitely Leona, be in the lane and accidentally take the kills due to AOE or whatever, and then they snowball that lane themselves. So it's pretty good. We managed to get a kill on Kayle here. Siva's doing the smart thing. She's just sitting back. We don't want to engage or push any further at the moment, because we don't know where the bot lane is at the moment. We know that Siva is running around somewhere. As you can see, she's obviously in a jungle, but we don't have vision on that. And then I just come back with Nidalee. It's good to just keep farming. You don't need to be instantly, because you can heal and then you can get across the map as quick as possible. I'm just constantly farming. My farming doesn't give up. I'm sitting on 121 at the moment, and we're about 18 minutes in. So this is where I want. Now I know that the tower in mid is gone. I can actually roam a lot better now, and I can go through their jungle and I can do all those sorts of things, and I can get from A to B quickly, because if my lane pushes up to their next tower, I can move around, top or bottom easily without being seen. They try to gank here. There was no MIA called down bottom, so we just we managed to get out. So there was no harm there. And Rammus just continues to go jungling, and Blitz makes his way down river. So I've managed to go from mid to bottom to top a few times now, and I've actually managed to pick up 3 assists. So I've assisted the team in 3 different kills. So not only have I farmed the best best in the game so far, I've also managed to pick up 2 kills in that time, and I've also managed to pick up assists in team fights. So this is really how you want to play Nidalee. As I said, it's a pretty good game for me. So I'll actually run back now. I'll just try and keep some distance.
Purple team team has slain the dragon. Purple team has slain the dragon.
Normally, I'd take red, but I'd feel happy to give it to Rammus at this point, because I was focusing a lot more on farming at this stage more than assisting with more team fights, because no team fights were really breaking out, so I was just clearing jungle, taking what I could, getting ready for my next V. With Nidalee, you're doing well if you don't have to be too soon. That's with any champ. If you don't have to be that often, then you're really doing good. I've beat once for the chalice and the Tear of the Goddess, and I think I beat again for the boots and the tomb. But besides that, like, I've already picked up another 2,000-3,000 that I have to spend before, after I beat. But I don't actually need it at this point. To beat, it takes time. The good thing that Nidalee, she can get to the base and back out really quick. Their Blitz got caught in a bad position then. We had a ward on that brush and he didn't actually know. So, and then their Sivir ended up getting... I'm going to back around the back here because that way they can't escape. They're stuck right in the middle there. Kayle is a bad person to focus that early on simply because of the ult. I'm taking quite a bit of damage here, so I'm aiming for the flash out. Kayle chases, but Kayle just can't finish. Just did not get the chance. And I'm, back to safety. And then you always want to go back in. You always want to come around, make them chase, get isolated, so they can be focused a lot more easy. Because chasing Nidalee in a fight is hard. There's a lot of slows, a lot of taunts. So you get out of there quick. Then I came back. Then you always go to chase up with the fight by throwing a few more spears into the mix and hopefully just, hitting someone or doing some damage. I take their blue here because that's closest to me. I could have probably pushed the tower, but I didn't. So I just go back to our jungle and I keep farming because there's no need to be. I can still take more creeps. And by this point, I'm well farmed and I'm got quite a lot of gold sitting in the bank. So I know that I'm doing well, and I know once I do be that the game will become a lot more easier. I bought a death cap here. I figured there's no real point in it's not going to do any harm in not buying it. In buying it this early, even though it's a great mid game to late game item because it stacks well with the rest of your AP. I figure I may as well just buy it now. We're well up. We're probably not going to lose. Our gold farm is through the roof compared to theirs, and they're not going to be able to stop us more than likely. So I just bought it anyway for some, for the most AP I could get out of an item at this stage. And I guess you could call it having a bit of fun. They're not a bad team, but I just think that they couldn't communicate well or team fight. Have good communication in team fights or work well with each other. I managed to find me in the brush here, so I just chase him down. He manages to get a ward off. I head north. I'm actually going to try and speed him here, but my R wasn't working. I probably would have got him first before Blitz, but as I said, I don't mind if the support takes the kill. That is a perfect situation of that. I could have thrown my spear and possibly missed, and he chased, and I'm happy for him to take it. The other thing is, if you find in the jungle that there are creeps, that there are neutrals, like the Wraiths are up or whatever, but you've got creeps just nearby fighting in the lane, take the creeps first. The Wraiths or the neutral camps are always going to be there and they're always going to respawn. Whereas the minions in the lane, once they die, they die. Like, even though more come back, you lose that CS farm from that wave. So it's always good to take the creeps and then go to the camps. The other thing is you'll want to constantly throw spears. Even if you don't have vision, throw them where you last saw them, because you might hit someone. I get slight vision on these guys, and that's all I need. I'll just throw a spear in the general direction where I think they're going. Like I see Karma and I know exactly her movement path. I know where she's going to run. I tried to go around to jump on her if she was going to walk straight back to the base, but I managed not to. I did manage to throw a spear in that direction, but I missed. You also want to chuck on your heals on your teammates. Like I'll heal Ramus there, and you just want to keep throwing as many heals as you can, really. Heals and spears. I managed to get pulled by Blitz there. At first I didn't have an actual clue what the hell happened. I thought I had actually been kicked by Lee, and then I had to think about that. Lee was actually in front of me. He did not kick me under the tower. It was actually a Blitz pull, because I didn't actually have vision on Blitz then. It was just a random pull, and I managed to be the one to get hit. So it's not good. But I think that's my only death in the game. I ended up going 8 for 1, I think, but I think that is the only death I do experience.
Blue team double kill. Blue team double kill.
I haven't participated in many dragon attempts in this game. I'm just finding better use out of, camp farming and creep farming. I love the race. I think the race are a great, quick and easy way to grab some extra gold. I mean, also they give you about 60, 70 GP altogether, and it's a really quick clear. It's over and done within seconds, and then that takes out the possibility of the enemy, taking them. The enemy counter jungling your jungle and then going into it and clearing yours. And it hinges the other jungler too, especially early on in the game. If I'm taking their race off their jungler in the early game, their jungler's losing out on XP. He actually loses out on a level, because if you start at red, you take red to begin with. I don't know if it's still like that, but it used to be you go to the edge of level 1 with the XP barrier. You don't actually level up until you take the next wraith or so. I'm not sure if it's still like that, but it was at one point. It could also be if someone leeches the XP. There's lots of possibilities. It's just a great thing to do to give your side more of an advantage. Just take the enemy jungle. So I'll sit back here and I'll just use my poke to my advantage. You don't want to jump straight in the mix and get shut down as the Titan Tiger form. You want to do that roughly when everyone's being focused or when people are running. You really want to use it, get the most out of your spears, because the spears are vital. They do so much damage, especially if you've got Magic Pen. The spears are going to really hurt the enemy. I know they're sitting there, so I can chuck a spear. I have no problems with that. I'll just chuck spears all day, and it'll push them back off the tower as well. Because it's hard to see a spear coming, when it's sent out of 5 people, or a group of 5 people. It's hard to see that. We pretty much know we've got this one in the bag, so we're not really fussed at all. We're just going to take it, then drop back. I'm actually the one who dropped out as well with Rengar to signal. I think they all got the message when I didn't want to push it, because we could have ended it there, but we didn't.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed. Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
I know my team is going to take the tower no matter what, so I'll just sit back and throw spears at the enemy to keep them off the tower. I don't have to go in and throw spears at the tower, because I know that my team can do that for me. They don't need a 5th person to bring it down, because it will come down no matter what. so I can just, you know, aim for the damage on their guys, and that in itself gives us more room to bring the tail down quick. I actually saw Blitz up here and I thought he pulled me, but he actually got Ashy instead. Luckily, Ash actually had a flash on her. I don't get lead here. I wanted to get lead.
Legendary.
You want to be careful with your engages as well with Nidalee, because she's very squishy. It doesn't seem like it, but she actually is. Close up, she takes quite a bit of damage only from a few moves, and she can really take a beating. So I'll just sit behind the wave and just keep throwing spears. Even though I miss, I hit a creep, I grab some gold anyway. So I managed to flash out of the way. I don't think I needed it, but I just wanted to be certain. I get pulled here, but I managed to get out as quick as possible. I managed to get Lee there. They chase, which is a bad idea, especially when you've got an Ashley on the team. At this point, I can just spam spears as well. I managed to throw a spear as he gets pulled, and the spear actually hits him where he gets pulled to. I managed to get Sivir there with a great spear, and then we managed to finish off Blitz as well. And we know we've pretty much won at this point, so we take we pretty much just take the turrets, but we don't. I don't think we take the Nexus. I think we actually fool around for a bit and take everything in the base, because we know we're that far ahead.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed. 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 Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, we managed to just let the creeps push, and we decide we'll go for a Baron. But if I'm right, they actually chase us quite quickly and assume that we are going straight for the Baron, because after watching the replay, they didn't have a ward in it, so I'm assuming that they would have just thought we'd gone straight to Baron, unless no one actually leads them to our Baron. They just go straight for it because they themselves assume that we're going to take it, which is smart. It's a smart thing to think. Once someone's pushed your base that hard on left, it's probably the first thing they're going to go for, especially when they can end it. They just choose not to. But we actually didn't get our blitz or actually follow it up and go in to help. They come now, but or Ashley comes now, but by then it's already too late. Rammus is dead.
Purple team's inhibitor is respawning soon. Purple team's inhibitor is respawning soon.
After playing Nidalee for a while, I've gotten pretty accurate with her spears. I can not estimate, but predict where the enemy's gonna be, where they're gonna go, how they're gonna react, and where to throw it. And I haven't missed very many at all. I normally get a lot of them at full range. And then this is where they surrender. And that is GG. But yeah, so if you guys want to write any comments, it'd be great. I love criticism, constructive criticism. That is, I think it's good. It's a learning curve for everyone, not just the best players. not just the shitty players, all the good players need criticism as well, and need to keep keep trying to get better. Also, if you could give it a thumbs up and a subscribe, that'd be great. This is going to become a series now, like more of a playlist sort of thing. I'm going to be doing it with different champions. This is the first. I thought I'd show you the one, my favorite champion, the one I main the most. I'll probably do one on Javelin. If you guys want me to do one on any champions, just drop the comment below, and I'll be definitely checking it out and seeing how it goes. And yeah, that'd be awesome. So I'll see you soon, guys.